again, sport fans. Welcome to another edition of I-Sport on I-FLIER 103.3 FM. Yes, in the city of Ibadan. The voice of BIODUN, APENA, this lovely Tuesday afternoon. We are back as usual. Serve you the best of the best from the world of sport. And trust me, this afternoon, all our conversation will center around the transfer gossip, the transfer deals, the transfer market. Yes, Arsenal definitely in the conversation. Victor Osimhen, of course, will definitely be on the front burner this afternoon. We'll talk about the camp of Napoli. And of course, we'll talk about Galatasaray. And the man who is at the receiving end. Yes, the Nigerian international Victor Osimhen. The young man is currently sad right now. And then we'll talk about all of that on the show this afternoon. Look at the world of boxing also as we build up so this weekend. Talking about Alexander Isak. Did I just say Isak? Well, Alexander Usyk, the Ukrainian boxer who is set to face Alex Dubois. Yes, we're talking about the French man. Of course, people will tell you the man is not a Frenchman, but then you definitely want to say a British. But then if you look at the name again, you ask yourself, where is this man from actually? But then who cares? You just want to witness what is going to happen between the boy and of course all on the show this afternoon. So relax and of course do join us when we open the call line to be part of the conversation with us this lovely Tuesday afternoon. Yes, the name is BIODUN, APENA, BIODUN Sport, and I've got the guys fully seated with me on the show. I've got Feauturiring, Makinde, Peace Shobaloju, the Sport Princess, and of course, once again, we have Solomon also join us on the show.
They are scored, and just like you said, we want to drag Arsenal into this anyways, but jokes on everybody in this studio because Arsenal are actually doing well in the transfer market. We saw Feauturiring
doing well in the transfer market doesn't translate to doing well in the league.
What else do you now want now? You want Arsenal to actually spend money and sign. So they are doing that. So let the season start first. Let's keep the goal first.
Wait. Before you go on, let's quickly put it in context. We've been clamoring for Arsenal to spend in the transfer market, and so far they've been doing all of that, signing players right, left, in the middle, of the player. Do you think Arsenal have really, done well enough? I'm talking about quality
signing. Victor Gyökeres, we've gotten the year we go from Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein. I don't know what else we want to believe. It's just about, I think, getting a few details right in the contract and doing the medical. That is going to happen. Don't worry, everything is going well at Arsenal right now.
All right, well, everything going well at Arsenal. The words of Sport Princess. Yes, anytime you want to talk about Arsenal, just call on Sport Princess. She's definitely going to give you all of the downloads from the camp of Arsenal. Feauturiring, good afternoon to you. How are you doing? Barcelona also completed the deal of a certain Rooney. What is this man bringing to the camp of Barcelona?
Yeah, good afternoon, BIODUN Sports. Good afternoon.
Come good for them. Yeah, all right. Let's also welcome Solomon. How are you doing? Manchester United on the wheel. Yes, so far so good. Nothing really concrete coming from the camp of Manchester United. Are you excited about Manchester United going forward into the 2025-2026 season?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
BIODUN Sports. Actually, I'm not excited at all.
Of course, you should.
If nothing is signing players, it shouldn't be Manchester United. Like, we need players. Look at our position last season. 16th position, right?
No, you have to put 16th Avenue. Though I was expecting the young man to stay at Brentford. We want to see more with you, ABIODUN. We saw him in the Champions League, even against the biggest of the biggest. When it comes to European football, this man held his own in the UEFA Champions League. I saw Manchester City game against Club Brugge, and I was really impressed with ABIODUN. But then Juventus, a proper side for him, or he should look elsewhere?
Yeah, I think I totally support his move to Juventus, Ria Giants. I feel like Juventus are also going to rebuild, and they've been really active in this transfer market as well. They've been bringing in a whole lot of signings. So I think to see that is like a part of a new project, a new dawn at Juventus. I think that's a great one, because I feel like he had a great season last, especially in the Champions League. That's where I actually got to see a lot from him. Club Brugge last season were really impressive. Nobody really expected them, although they got knocked out eventually, but they actually tried their best and they looked really impressive. But it's a sad one for Club Brugge, because I think they're a selling club. They've been selling a whole lot of players in this transfer market. They said that that will affect their season. But I think for me overall, a good decision to Rafael Redica to go to the Serie A, to do more, and to experience football at the highest level. Is going to be playing for Juve now. If that eventually happens, it's going to be, for me, it's actually a very brilliant idea for him to go to Juventus.
And he's going to replace the Brazilian international. Talking about Douglas Luiz, who is on the verge of sealing a move to Premier League club, Everton Football Club. Well, for Everton also, they are really beefing up their team. Also, the struggle last season, if not for the impetus of the old warriors. Talking about the manager, the former manager, who is back at the club right now, David Moyes, turned the table around for them, and they were able to escape. Talking about the Nigerian players, also let's talk about the Super Falcons, and we are talking about a certain Risola Babajide, yes, who recently joined AS Roma, the female team in the Serie A Femini. Also, yes, the Super Falcons forward Risola Babajide expressed desire to make a meaningful impact at a new club, AS Roma. Babajide completes the transfer deal for the Italian Femini side on Monday, and the Giallorossi signed the versatile winger on a free transfer. Haven't gone through the stress of trying to make sure he secure a new club for himself, and finally she's been able to do that. But then talking about some of our players who at some point played in the Serie A Femini, the recent player definitely has to be Jennifer Echejini. Also, she plays for Juventus, but then she eventually left that club. Maybe she couldn't really acclimatize, and of course slot into the team. Also, she just have to leave the club. But Fermi likely the best right now. But then I think they should be starting from somewhere. But let's talk about how impactful Nigerian players has been in the Serie A Femini. Like I said, the last person to play in the Serie A Femini, Jennifer Echejini for Juventus, but then she didn't last at the club. She had to leave the club to join Paris Saint-Germain in the French Femini. Also, good one for Babajide.
Yeah, it's a very good one for her, a good move for her, because she was playing for Tenerife in the Spanish league, and she got a free transfer to eventually move to this AS. No matter how you want to put it, Tenerife Femini club will not be one of those teams that you actually say, okay, we are trying to push to get to the yes, so you do not expect them to be doing all that. But yes, from my team, and I think for sure they're one of the popular names in men's football. So they are also gradually trying to build something sort of like that in the women's football. So I feel it's very interesting for her to be joining that sort of group that are actually looking to do something also after doing on the men's side. Let's say it's like a project, it's a working project, and so I think it's a very impressive one for her to be one of those players that they are bringing on to a working project. But I don't know how she's going to fare, although she has looked good the last few games I've seen her in the WAFCON. Also, I think I checked her stats after seeing her in the first game in the WAFCON, and she actually had, I think she had 11 goals and assists last week. I feel that's very impressive for someone that is playing in a lowly ranked side. So yes, I think she's going to do way better when now she's going to play with better players in this AS Roma Femini side.
All right, still looking at stories from the transfer and of course that concerns Nigerian player. Well, let's move away from setting the pace for the new season. Yes, Accra United also regroup for the 2025-2026 season. Talking about Accra United, recently won the President Federation Cup, and they will go on to represent Nigeria in one of the CAF competition. So the Harmony boys return to training after a short break following their victory in the 2025 President Federation Cup. Accra United held a training session at the Rashidi Yekini Membo George Ina Stadium on Monday, which was yesterday, and they've been talking tough. Yes, they really want to do well in the MPFL next season. Well, it's left to be seen if they are really ready, to actually compete in the MPFL. And of course, talking about Kano Pillars also, yes, Kano Pillars have signed 2 new players for the new season. And talking about the player, the draw, we also, because this Super Falcons team, they'll be quite, lethargic in some of their games, particularly their game against Algeria. But then hopefully they will go on to do well in their game on Friday against Zambia. Yes, 5 p.m. Nigerian time. That is when that game is slated for. And of course, talking about other quarter-final fixtures also, there are a lot of interesting fixtures to actually watch out for in the WAFCON 2024. But then I'm really scared of the Zambia girls because they've got fantastic player. You talk about Barbara Banda, Rachel Kondinaji also. These are guys who can actually terrorize the defense of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Alright, so 0705 for 500 1033, or you call 09054 44 1033. Those are the numbers to be part of the conversation this afternoon. Of course, you can watch us live on Facebook, I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. Yes, tell us that player you would love your club to sign this summer of the transfer market. Maybe you support Arsenal, you support Manchester United, you support Chelsea Football Club, or you support Barcelona. Just tell us in our comment section. We'll definitely get to read all of that out on the show this afternoon. A lot is happening in the transfer market, and trust me, some of these top teams are definitely preparing for the new season. All right, let's move on. Let's go straight into this one. Before we'll go straight into the transfer market, let's start with the camp of Barcelona, and it's about Lamine Yamal, the man who is just 17, once again hugging the headlines this afternoon. And according to reports, Spain Ministry of Social Rights has asked the country prosecutor office to investigate Barcelona winger Lamine Yamal after he reportedly hired people with draftiness to perform at his 18th birthday party. Well, I don't know. Fermi, let's talk about your boy. This young man is just 18. Recently turned 18. In fact, he celebrated his birthday recently also. And according to reports, he invited a whole lot of, the short people. I don't want to use the word right now, but then the Spain Minister of Social Rights has actually asked the country prosecutor office to investigate Lamine Yamal. Yeah. What do you make concerning the story? Because this man is still very young. He should lay low. He should lay low.
Yeah, but personally, I feel it's very funny, and I think they are seeing him as an easy target because images of other people also doing that too in Spain came out. Theo Hernandez did that when he was in Spain. A whole lot of players have done
but
that.
He wasn't called out.
Yes, he wasn't called out. So I feel they are not looking, they are looking for any possible thing to try and look at him. He had this issue, he had. I feel a whole lot of people are complaining too much about a whole lot of normal things that actually happen to normal human beings and normal football players. There's no way you expect an 18-year-old who has a whole lot of money on his shoe. A whole lot of people will be piling on him and try to bring back all these old things.
Yeah.
So right now I feel a whole lot of people are not just. They are not looking for easy ways to say, okay, he did this, he did that, and he's going to be a very, very easy target as long as he's enjoying himself. But I told someone yesterday that anything he does off the field is none of my business. As long as he does that out to anyone, he doesn't do anything.
But then some of the things he does off the pitch also affect his mentality, affect his game going forward. Because
for sure,
you to have a proper career, any scandal will definitely affect your career.
I feel every player has gone through this particular state. I feel we are just shocked that because we are in the social media era and we are getting to see a whole lot of it on our faces. So I feel that's just the issue. I still remember there was a Barcelona parade that Messi was even drunk and he was saying a whole lot.
Yeah.
But this thing happened. I think we are just getting to see now because it's on social media and we are trying to say, he should watch out for this, he should watch out for that. that Messi also did his birthday party that he even carried 2 ladies by his side, and so all these things happen. We are just getting to see it more, and I feel we should just let him do his thing. I feel he's going down. Anyway, he goes down, is going to be his choice. But I feel we are just going to see this a whole lot because it's social media right now, and then we are putting a whole lot of point at oh, he's doing this, oh, he's doing that. Most like they'll tell him that he should no longer wear his trousers. Yeah, he should not do particular things again.
All right, well said from Fermi. But then Lamine Yamal, whatever mistakes he actually makes, he definitely going to learn from it. So I want to believe the Barcelona hierarchy would definitely have to help him also. This man is 18. Well, let's see. He's doing really well for himself, playing really well, and we are enjoying what the young man is bringing.
Just being extra cautious as well, because obviously there's a target. Yeah, there's a target being on his back and everything. He needs to use his common sense as well. It's the social media era and everything like that. But I think he should be more cautious in the way he acts and flaunts everything, because not everybody is happy about what is happening to him. So a lot of haters out there. The more you succeed, the more you gain haters. So you should just be extra cautious and be intentional about the things he do, like he does rather, he does on social media. You should just be extra cautious and extra careful on what happens or what he showcases or shows the world. That's just my own opinion, sure.
Okay, all right. Well, let's move on. Let's go straight into some of the potential players who are expected to leave Manchester United this summer. We've got Anthony. Yes, the Brazilian international, Alejandro Garnacho, Marcus Rashford. Of course, talk about Malaysia. Yes, the man who went on loan to PSV Eindhoven. And of course, Jadon Sancho also estimated to be earning around a total of 1 million a week. Wow. These guys are gulping a whole lot from Manchester United, but then they've been put on the red alert right now. Manchester United want to let go of all of these players. If you ask me, I think a certain Marcus Rashford should stay, but then it seems Ruben Amorim is not really interested in Marcus Rashford. All right, Solomon, let's talk about your darling team. You heard me, Anthony, Garnacho, Marcus Rashford, Malaysia, and of course Jadon Sancho. Which of these players would you like to remain at Manchester United, or you want all of them to leave this summer?
Actually, for me, I would prefer Anthony to stay.
Anthony?
Yeah, the rest don't.
Really?
Yeah, so I prefer him to stay.
Why?
Just to, he's not playing for fun, let me say that. But if you see Anthony playing for Manchester United or any team, he's always like putting his whole body, not
putting more effort. Yeah. But then before he left Manchester United to Real Betis, wow.
I don't want him at all in the club.
Okay. All right, well said. Sport Princess, let me talk to you. He mentioned, apology from Marcus Rashford. What has Marcus Rashford done to the Manchester United? I don't want to say the board, but the manager. Because Ruben Amorim, it seems the body language, the countenance is telling on him not wanting Marcus Rashford at Manchester United. And just like Solomon said, he says that Marcus Rashford should apologize to the manager. Is there any apology the manager should expect from Marcus Rashford? I don't think the man has actually done anything for the manager.
Well, I think I think we had something happened between Marcus Rashford and Amorim earlier when Amorim just got the job at Manchester United, and it was about going to a party, blah blah blah. And Rashford is like should I say a player full of ego. I think he loves he does not really care about all this laying low and submitting to a manager. I don't think he's that kind of player. Maybe the old school kind of player. I think football is now is not a kind of sport where you have to be you have to submit to your manager. You have to do what your manager wants, because if you don't do that, you're not going to make it into the team. And Rashford is not just ready. I think there's clearly a bad blood between Amorim and Rashford, and I don't think he's ready to apologize to anybody, not even the board. He's ready to leave Manchester United. I'm very sure he's waiting for that that move for Barcelona to just come and pick. And he said it that the moment he leaves Manchester United, he has a lot to say, but he can't say that because he's tied to contract and everything. And immediately he he leaves, he's probably going to like say. So I don't think it's actually hard to judge who the cause of the problem is. But I feel like Marcus Rashford.
Well, a lot of Barcelona fans will tell you Marcus Rashford. Some of them they actually fancy him, while some of them are really craving to have Marcus Rashford at the club next season. I would love to see Marcus Rashford, what is like from the young man. It's been a long time. We'll get to see.
He had a good spell at Aston Villa.
Of course, fantastic performance he had with Aston Villa. But then let's move forward. Let's go straight to the camp of Liverpool FC. Yes, Liverpool are balling in the transfer market. Talking about Ancelot's side, they've reportedly made an approach to sign Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak, and of course communicated their interest to do a particular deal in the region of 120 million pound. That is what Liverpool are willing to offer Newcastle United for the Swedish international. But then they also lined up a plan B if they fail to get their number one target. Who is that? Not plan B. That is what we cannot confirm right now. But then Fermi talking about Alexander Isak going to Liverpool. They already signed the German international Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. Should they get Alexander Isak? Would you say they already won the English Premier League without playing right now?
Yeah, you could say they've already won the English Premier League without playing on paper, because it's they will have two of the best attackers from last season in the Premier League, two of the highest goal scorers, Salah and Allen, in the next 2 years, if you ask me. If you go this year, should be going for your midfield and fixing that up. Then next season going for Isak again, because Isak is probably not going to leave if he's not going to be Liverpool this year. I doubt any other club are going to be interested in saying, okay, we are going to pay £100 million for you and bring him. Yeah, so I doubt no other club is going to be there again. Then you probably say, okay, you allow Newcastle to get in Ekitike to bring him into the club. Taking the next year, they'll probably say, okay, Ekitike has had 1 year to get acclimatized to what we want from him. Then, okay, yeah, Isak can now move on. So that's the first thing, because I feel Salah is still going to be very efficient for them this particular season. He's going to still probably be the main goal scorer, no matter how you want to put it. He's still going to be the one that's going to be occupying the central positions, and Frimpong now also overlapping. So I don't know how they're going to work it out though, but I feel it's a premium signing that they can actually do without making for now.
All right, I think Fermi made a lot of salient points. Of course, talking about the defense of Liverpool, they need to focus in that department. Virgil van Dijk not to get to Madrid this time, Liverpool next tomorrow, and Kwanzaa also is out of the club. Joe Gomez, he's not a Edward, the sporting director of the club. But if you ask me, I think the man has been doing a whole lot of job. Then the good work he's doing is not enough. Go sign a defender for you to actually compete really well. And I think one of the things Arsenal are using to gap all of this club in terms of quality in defense is the partnership of Saliba and of course Gabriel. These are solid, defense. Even Manchester United, Manchester City rather, cannot boast of such, defense.
I think you would say that it does not really make a whole lot of sense, but you can kind of you would say that it does not really make a whole lot of sense, but you can kind of understand his perspective, because he's now getting older. Understand his perspective, because he's now getting older. He's 27 and he's not really getting enough playing time at Liverpool. I think earlier at the start of last season, he was probably a starter, and then towards the end he was kind of struggling to get into the team. It was more of Cody Gakpo, Diogo Jota, the late Diogo Jota, and Mo Salah, that front three. So I think if Bayern Munich wants to pay that price, honestly, for a 27-year-old Luis Diaz, I think it's actually a smart move. Honestly, I feel like it's probably going to be a starter at Bayern Munich as well for that price tag, and because nobody will spend £58 million on a bench player, honestly, or maybe Arsenal shop. So I think it's actually a great move for Luis Diaz. I think it's a great time to Bayern Munich are also a great, so it's probably going to win the Bundesliga next season as well, compete in the Champions League. You can't really say that with Liverpool, even with the signings they they're making, it's not guaranteed that they're going to win the Premier League next season. So I wouldn't say that, just because they've won the Premier League, or they just recently won the Premier League last season, you should stay at Liverpool, where it's currently struggling, to get a proper playing time.
Of letting go of Luis Diaz, and of course use that money to complete the deal of Alexander Isak all the way from Newcastle United. All right, let's take more transfer stories also before we go talk about the world of boxing for this afternoon. All right, a lot of rumors, but then when you look at the way some of this club are going, we might be seeing here we go again. Well, Arsenal are set to approach Crystal Palace for Iberici Eze. This is a fresh deal right now. Remember, Arsenal forced table a particular deal for them. I think that was rejected, but this time around, this is the second deal from the Arsenal camp, and we'll get to know what Crystal Palace are saying concerning that one also. And of course, Liverpool, I saw this particular story to join Liverpool, and I was like, Liverpool?
A nice one, actually.
Well, a nice one, but then
cheaper option.
I think it is a good bargain. It will come on a good bargain for them. Mateta definitely wants to play in a big club, and of course play in the Champions League also. And it's going to be really, really interesting to see if Liverpool will get that on. But right now, they are putting all of their eggs in the basket to get a certain Alexander Isak also. And Manchester United, we spoke about them earlier, Brian Mbeumo. This is the fourth deal. In your own thought, as a Manchester United fan, do you think Brian Mbeumo actually worth 75 million pounds this transfer market?
For me, I would say no.
No?
Yes.
For a player who scored, right, you are right.
No, he hasn't proved himself like that for the past 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah,
like,
consistency is out there.